Hi, I'm Jessie, and I've been working here at Dr. Lou's Nourishing Life for about 8 months now. It's quite an interesting story, actually. My brother was very sick. He ended up kind of going through everything in Western medicine that you can kind of imagine. He was at U of M, he was at Mayo Clinic, and his condition kept declining. And so we kind of ended up at, coming to Chinese medicine kind of as a last resort because we didn't know much about it. We had no idea really what anything was. We were maybe a little skeptical, but we got referred here to Dr. Lou's practice. And it was quite amazing because this was the first thing where we actually ever saw results, where we saw my brother improving. I mean, it was from he was in a wheelchair. He lost the ability to read and write because there was some neurological connections that were being broken, and it was just terrible because this was when he was in high school and into college, and he ended up having to drop out of school and do homeschooling, and he had to travel by wheelchair, and it was just terrible, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Then when he started coming to Dr. Lou, that's when we first started seeing results. We went for, he's been a patient now for probably about 5 years, but in the beginning it was slow because his disease process was definitely, it took him a long time to get to the point he was at, so it took him a little while to get out of it. But over the first year, well, I saw him, and he would go from, he used to always just sit in this one chair, and then before I knew it, he could walk from the chair to the kitchen. And I was like, wow, okay. And then fast forward a couple months, he could go upstairs, he could sleep in his room again, which it sounds like not a big deal, but it was like a really big deal. And then, eventually he doesn't need the wheelchair, he can walk around without it. Then he can, whatever was broken came back, and he was able to read again. He could go back to school. And then fast forward now, 5 years later, and he's going to be actually graduating from chiropractic college this year, functioning at probably about 85-90% of quote-unquote normal. So I was watching all this happen, and I was in my undergrad, and I liked what I was doing, but it wasn't my passion or anything. I could not keep my head out of the books at this point. I was watching what was happening with my brother, and then I kept researching, and one day I decided, okay, I want to do this. I totally want to do this, and I applied to Chinese medicine school. I got accepted. I went for my program in Florida at a school called East West College of Natural Medicine. Anytime I could fly up here and sneak in for one of my brother's appointments, I would. And then when I was about to graduate, he actually called me, asked me if I'd ever want to work here, and it was just an absolute dream come true. I could not be any more happy. I feel so blessed to be here because now I get to come to work and I get to help other families like they helped my brother. And it was the people here. It was Dr. Lou, Carrie, Sarah, Stephanie that absolutely transformed my family's life, and just so grateful to be here. We have some younger people here, and it's super fun because you get to go in the room and you get to be a little silly and goofy because they're not really used to the concept of okay, what is this, needles, what? And then eventually you get to know them and they get to know you, and you build this trust, and then they're okay with needling all of a sudden. So I love working with kids. And I also found out that I love teaching. There's a lot of people who come in here, not that I have credentials to teach, but just educating people about this medicine, because there's a lot of people who come in who have no background knowledge, or they really don't know why we're doing what we're doing. And I think it's kind of fun because when you talk to them, and you teach them about these different patterns that unfold, and how everything that their experience is actually a big piece of this puzzle, and you just see these light bulbs going off in their head, wow, because it just truly is a logical medicine. It's based on phenomenon observed in nature, but there's a really logical framework, and it's just amazing to teach people these little tidbits and then to see them just blossom and understand, wow, okay, this is what's going on with me, and this is what we're doing to fix it. So that's kind of what I love here. And obviously the treatments that Dr. Lou designs are phenomenally beautiful. Dr. Lou has gotten me on this workout train. I've been going 5 or 6 times a week to the gym, and over the past 6 or 7 months I've watched my health, my body, everything is changing for the better, and I'm going to keep this ball rolling,